Good morning, students. Now, as part of your council exam, you need to submit an internal assessment for English language as well as English literature. Now, today we shall look at the project work or internal assessment for your English 1, English 2 or your literature. Now, for your English 2, you need to submit a written assignment. And before you write it, you have to frame a question. And the question is going to be the title of your written assignment. So the title has to be in the form of a question. So you have a title in the form of a question. Correct. You will have the title of your assignment in the form of a question. And then you have to follow a definite structure. So once you have the title, then you follow the structure. And first of all, it should have an introduction. It should have an introduction. And in introduction, you should first of all include an explanation of the question that you have selected. Alright? Explanation of the question. Explanation of the question that has been framed. That is the first thing. First, you have to give an explanation of the question that you have framed. I said because that is going to be your title. And second is, what is your reason for choosing this particular topic or particular text for your internal assessment. And thirdly, you should give a brief explanation of how you intend to interpret the text and the literary materials used in it. Okay. So, three things to remember. First is, give an explanation of the question that you have framed in your title. And secondly, you give a reason for choosing this particular text. And thirdly, give a brief explanation of how you intend to interpret the text and the literary material used in the process. Okay. Having said this much, you should also have a conclusion. You should also have a conclusion. Then you have the main body. Alright? Before this, you have the main body where you write out your proper assignment proper. Okay? Your assignment proper is known as the main body. Introduction, then you have all this is done, and then you have the body after, and the body is where that is your actual work. And then, having done that, you will also write a conclusion for this. So you will have introduction, body, and conclusion. And what is conclusion? In your conclusion, or your conclusion is a comprehensive summary of the points made in the main body. Right? Your conclusion will be a comprehensive summary of what you have written in the main body of the project. Okay. So you have, so that's the structure. I explained the structure. The structure should have an introduction, and then the body, and then the conclusion. Now, a few topics that are given to you is, first is number of options are there. Number one, you can, for instance, you can do the analysis of the theme. Okay, so first choice is you can choose to analyze the theme of a poem or a short story in your textbook. You have the Echoes, collection of short stories. You have the Reverie, collection of poems. You can take one of them and look at the themes that are elaborated there or found there. Like for instance, take the poem John Brown. What do you find there? You find different towards one. What do you find in a poem like John Brown? So John Brown presents us with different attitudes towards war. You have the point of view of the mother, for instance. You have also the point of view of John Brown, a representative of every soldier who fights in the front line, or who is in soldier's boots and fighting in the front line, and who was really faced a true war. So it's basically an anti-war poem. John Brown is an anti-war poem. That is, it speaks against war of all kinds, but still there is that different attitude also is portrayed, like the mother calls him a hero, a gallant soldier was considered to be a hero, a gallant, but then all that disillusionment of John Brown after he returns from the battlefield, having lost all his limbs and quite disfigured and disillusioned person. Okay, that is one thing you can talk about. So take the theme of any one of the short stories or the poems and give an analysis of it. And the second thing you can do is, secondly, you can also analyze the character of a person. There are a number of stories and poems in which characters are given importance. For instance, you take your first short story in your text, for instance, is Salvatore. That's a character story. Alright? So the character of Salvatore is brought out. Or the poem that we talked about just now, John Brown. That's again is a character-based poem. Or you have other characters, for instance, the character of Caliban in your Tempest. So any of these characters can be analyzed. Any of the character can be analyzed in your project. Then third choice you have is the comparison of you can also compare two characters from two different texts. Like for instance, the two women characters that you find and their attitudes towards life or their nature, you can compare all these aspects. Like for instance, the singing lesson is there where you have a female character, the singing lesson, and there's another story, the story of an hour. So both these, the singing lesson as well as the story of an hour, you have female characters. Now compare these two characters, female characters, their nature, their attitudes, the way they behave themselves, all those. Alright? So compare these two characters. And the fifth choice you have is the paraphrase or a summary. Paraphrase is a term for writing the summary of or writing the poem into prose form. Okay? So a summary of a short story, or you can write the summary or a paraphrase of a poem. So that is the fifth option you have. So you select from one of these and your word limit is 1500 words, 1500 words. Alright? Doesn't have to be done in a book. You do not have to waste just for writing 1500 words. You need not buy an expensive practical copy and so on. You can use loose sheets and flip them together, or you can staple them together, or you can put them in a stick file or something and submit. Alright? 1500 words. So in the front, as you have done in the class 10, you shall write the usual format, internal assessment in English 2 or in English literature as requirement for ISE 2022, then submitted by so and so has to be written. Your name, class, roll number in the front page. And then you have you can add if you want a table of contents, but then when you write the actual project, you make sure that you have follow the structure, have an introduction which will have an explanation of the question that you have framed, and secondly you will have a reason for choosing this particular text, and thirdly a brief explanation of how you intend to do this project or interpret this particular text that you have chosen, and the literary materials that you shall be using in this process. Okay. Then you go to then you have the main body, the summary or the comparison or the analysis of the character or the analysis of the theme, and then finally you have the conclusion in which you shall comprehensively write the points made in the main body of your project. Is that clear? So I would advise that you now you will be having plenty of spare time, and this will not take you much time. You sit down and complete this assignment for your class work. Okay? Alright. If you have any questions, you can always contact me in WhatsApp or in your teachment. Okay? Your teachment also has got a facility for chat, and then or you can contact me in my WhatsApp number.